We had basketball yesterday, and this is the American Unathletic Association of America. And we had 2 games yesterday, as we do every Tuesday, 12:30 and 1 o'clock Eastern on the DP Show app. Both were blowouts, but there's some controversy that is simmering here. I brought in a shot clock because there was some controversy with maybe some people were stalling going into a four-quarter offense here. So I tried to rid us of that controversy, put in a shot clock here. The other issue that came up yesterday was the most physical team in the league. Basically, the biggest crybabies in the league. And I'm looking at one person in particular. McLovin. Calling too many fouls. You guys are the most physical team and calling too many fouls. If you want me to go to a referee, I'll go to a referee. But even players on your own team were complaining about the number of fouls that were called.
Infighting?
I'm not saying infighting as much as just the flow of the game. And this is all about content.
Hold up. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the players on McLovin's team were complaining about the flow of the game.
Yes, they were. Yeah, that all of the fouls being called.
They couldn't get in their own rhythm for offense there?
Yes. Yeah. They also complained they weren't getting the ball enough from McLovin. So this was an issue. It was not only your own teammates who brought this up. There were a couple other players who were watching yesterday saying you probably call more fouls than anybody else combined.
So I was actually talking, there was a guy in the back who's, I don't think he's ever even seen a pickup game before, who was telling me I called too many fouls.
Okay.
The league is way too dangerous. You're aware of this, right?
Yeah, but
because guys, specifically twos, never calls fouls, and everyone just tees off on him like a linebacker, like an Oklahoma drill.
Should I get a referee?
Oh, yeah. Okay. You definitely should.
Okay.
And by the way, to guard against what my team might not set their picks. I'll admit that.
You guys are the roughest team. Absolutely. Not even close. You're the roughest team, and you called more fouls than anybody.
Yes, right. So every time the guy who was covering would get picked off, and I would drive to the basket, then he'd come from behind and hit me in the head and say, "Oh, my bad, I got it."
Okay.
My guy called more fouls than I did because he was out of position because Eric was picking.
That's the big German. Nobody knows who you're talking about here. All right. So we can get a referee in here.
I can just drop out of the 3-on-3 league. I'd be perfectly fine with that too.
But you don't get to take your ball and go home.
Well, I just think the way the game was going got a little physical.
Yeah, well then let's try to prevent that, because this is supposed to be fun. Everybody's out there for some exercise. Then all of a sudden it got chippy yesterday, and then I said, okay, this could end poorly. I got Fritzy, who's 0 for June. I think Paulie is 0 for June.
Yep.
And I'm just kind of worried about this. I don't want this to go sideways. Thought it was going to be fun. It was going to be team building, and it's starting to pop at the seams a little bit here. Yes, Paul.
Dan, I was the team captain of the losers who got smoked by McLovin's team yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, we went in knowing it was to be physical. I tried to be physical right back, right off the bat. I was pushing Alan Guzzi, the IT guy, Eric, the big German. And but the foul calls, I think, are okay, because I find that too many players in this league are too polite and afraid of confrontation to call fouls on other people. And when it's an obvious foul, I think it should be called. Now, the only thing with the McLovin's team is they are the king of the moving pick. They just ride you down the lane. It's like a blocking
That's
double.
true.
But other than that, no, they're not cheap shot guys.
All right. I'm going to have to take this under advisement of do I bring in an official? Just to make sure that I protect you guys from yourselves. That's all. Because I thought it got a little chippy yesterday, and there are questionable calls in there. Yes, Fritzy.
So is that 2-0 with an asterisk, or we don't want to go quite that far?
No, it's a win. That's a win, dog. Yeah, there were 2 blowouts yesterday, and those victories stand. But I don't want it to get out of hand, and all of a sudden there was a lot of chatter in the back room about McLovin. And I said, okay, I'll address it with him.
I got to say, the fouls he called were fouls. Now, if you have a problem
his own teammates said he called too many fouls.
Well, what's too many if it's a foul, though? Because he went past me on a layup.
I think there are varying degrees of foul.
He shockingly went past me easy on a layup, and I swung, and I hit him straight in the side of the head.
Okay, that's a foul. Yeah.
And I even said, me, I said foul.
Yeah.
And then McLovin just agreed with it.
I think when the defender calls the foul, I'm fine with that. It's when the offensive guy calls the foul, or maybe a few more, then I have a problem with that. Because we want it to there be a little bit of a flow to the game there and have some fun. I got a little chippy yesterday. Yes, Todd.
But how often is the defender going to raise his hand and say, I call the foul? And I know Paulie's kind of referring to me on the polite side. There was a couple of times where I got hacked pretty good trying to put up a hook shot, and I let it go, which I probably shouldn't have. Trying to find a happy medium between McLovin's team and what our team may have dealt with on a couple of drives to the hoop.
And what was the question, Todd?
I think I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
I don't know what I was getting at.
All right.
The point being, if you're going to wait for the defender to call the foul, you're going to be waiting a long time.
But I know, but that's what I would hope you guys would do, but not everybody wants to do that. And I just want to make sure that we're having fun with this. Nobody gets hurt. I don't want any grudges here, bad blood. I want to make sure that we do what we set out to do.
I'm having a blast, and I haven't scored a point. So I don't know. I assume everyone else who's actually scored points must be having even more fun than I am.
All right. Well, we're going to take a look at this. I got to look at tape after the show and just see how egregious this was. But when I was watching to start, it seemed like it was getting a little chippy, and I just don't want to have that happen. Yes, McLean.
So your solution for making it less chippy is to call less fouls?
No, I'm going to bring in an official.
Right.
Who would probably call the fouls that are real.
One of the reasons it's getting a little too physical because there are not enough fouls called. And not even my team. I think Twos is getting hammered.
Two-a-days is getting roughed up and didn't call fouls.
Right.
Absolutely.
I think if he calls those, that'll course correct a little bit.
Yes, Eden.
I think that there were a couple of fouls yesterday that could have been called, that Twos could have called, or my team who played against Fritzy's team, the Crush, which Twos is on.
Yeah.
We could have called a couple of fouls. That being said, let's not act like we're playing tackle football out there and it's pure anarchy. I mean, we're getting slapped on the hand, and you can call the foul or not. Nobody's getting hurt.
Well, my team is playing a little tackle.
Yeah, they are.
That's it. I will admit that.
Your team is very physical.
As someone who's played that team, I can agree with that.
But they're also very big. There's also some natural size. My guys maybe 280, 210, all muscle.
But that being said, when somebody says, hey, sorry, I just couldn't stop, my body was going that direction and I can't stop it, well, then that means that you're just playing out of control and you need to not go that fast.
We'll look at an official. Okay? We'll look at an official.
I got a guy if you need him, Dan, but I don't think we need it.
All right. We'll discuss.
He's a college basketball coach, so
We'll discuss this.
I pity that poor official, what he's walking into.
Email address dp@danpatrick.com, Twitter handle @DP Show. By the way, if you want to watch the basketball games every Tuesday, 12:30 Eastern and 1 o'clock on the DP Show app. Oakland Raiders on Hard Knocks, and no word yet on Kevin Durant's injury. Looking for a second opinion. We'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.